are live. Okay. And we'll just wait a few minutes. Oops. Yeah, Mary Magdalene kind of showed up this morning. You know, I get a lot of energies, a lot of spirits coming in when I'm at work. I have an office, so I'm there by myself. And they'll come in, and Mary Magdalene came in, and I was like, "Oh, are you interested in Sasquatch?" and she kind of she's like, yes, I am, but she directed me to a YouTube channeler that I watch, Amanda. She's in the UK, and she was saying that today is the Feast of Mary Magdalene. I had no idea there was a feast. So yeah, so this is Mary Magdalene Day. You knew that?
I did know that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. She's been on my radar since about 1980 something. For feast days, I've known it since the 80s that this is her day.
Oh, okay. This is my first time realizing it. She's part of my spirit team, and I didn't know that was a feast day, that she has a day on July 22nd. Yeah. So, and then this is like my favorite picture of her. Oops, if I can see that. Kind of. That's how I picture her when she comes through a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to mimic that. Yeah.
It's lovely.
So we're waiting for people to join in. And I think we are, let me just make sure that, let me check in the group to make sure that we are live.
It says live on my screen.
Okay.
2:22.
All right, let's see. Yep, wait. Oh, it doesn't say it on mine. And yeah, okay, it says live on my screen as well. Okay. Guess they'll be coming in. I didn't know whether, so what's been going on with you? You're well?
Well, I'm well. In the spirit world, I went through a period of almost silence for several weeks, and I honestly thought maybe, like, I didn't feel a touch with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I felt like maybe this was necessary time to integrate new energies, and I asked somebody, and they said, yeah, absolutely, it's that time for you. So I've only started kind of coming back active into the spirit realm again, so to speak, like about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all changed. It's all shifted, completely shifted. It's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have heard some readers a couple of weeks ago, they said they were going to take off a couple of weeks because they feel like the path that they've known, the path that they've gone through is shifting and changing, and they have to learn it over or learn something new. It's a new path opening up for them. So they're taking time out of YouTube to just sit with that energy and find out what's the next step. I think we're all feeling the shift and the newness and the unknown coming through, and it's a good thing. It can be a little scary, but it's always a good thing. It's always a growth. Hi, thank you, Anna. Oh, she said you ladies look beautiful. Aw.
That's kind. Today's a day I don't see. I'm going to just leave my glasses off. I don't see with them on and I don't see with them off, so I'm just going to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna read with mine on and then I'll take it off. And I was saying that today this is my first time knowing this, but today is Mary Magdalene. It's the Feast of Mary Magdalene Day, July 22nd. So I was wearing this because she has been all around me today, and I just love her energy. And she actually comes through to me differently depending on, I guess, what I need. Sometimes it's very energetic, very just very, very, very energetic. Sometimes it's more subdued, and sometimes it's just more. She'll come different ways as far as energy. So I never look for her to be one way. And she has a sense of humor too. So, all right. Well, let's get started. We're going to do with a little bit of an intro first, just to let you know what we're doing. And then we have some questions that we want to ask Sasquatch. And then if they're okay with it, those who are listening it live, because this is live in my group, Bringers of Love and Light, if you have any questions for Sasquatch, we'll ask if they're willing to answer some of your questions as well. So, okay, so I'll go first. I have Bringers of Love and Light. It's a private group on Facebook that you can find me. It's a high vibrational private group of members. You can also reach me at Gloria Rice Medium. That's my business page. You can book me for readings, practice channeling, and just personal development. Those are some of the services that I do offer. And for YouTube, you can find me at Gloria Rice Medium there too, where we have YouTube videos up for you to take a look at and view, like, and subscribe. I have not had any past connection with Sasquatch as far as the spirit is concerned. I was really surprised, and it came with, I recognized the Sasquatch because I got a visual of it, and then I began to feel the love and the warmth, and that a message wanted to come through. It was sort of like when I first encountered energies of the dragon energy. I had never had that experience at all, and it was the same type of thing. They came in warmly, if you want to invest, if you want to do some research. I usually don't research because I want to hear from them, what the message is directly from them. Hi, Rita. So I didn't do any research too much on Sasquatch. I know there's a lot of, they're referring to it as, folklore, pretty much, the Sasquatch phenomenon. And as far as this transmission is concerned, I can tell you that right now, and as soon as I said that we were going to go ahead and do this with Sasquatch, Gaia came in, and Gaia has been with me for several days. She is really supportive of Sasquatch, and I guess she may talk a little bit more about that, but Gaia is definitely here. Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, I feel around me. The elementals love the Sasquatch. Fairies. Who else? Oh, Saint Germaine is here. Saint Germaine is here as well, and the Shekinah is one of those really strong vibrations that I love so much, and I feel her energy here as well with me. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to let Ursula go ahead and talk a little bit about her.
Yes, I'm. Those who don't know me, I'm Ursula Ramjit. My page is Songs of Light, and I also have another Facebook page, Songs of Light Healing. That's my business page. I offer Reiki readings, channeling, that kind of thing. Where Sasquatch is concerned, I've kind of only vaguely encountered them through astral travel. I've seen them like close up to my face in astral travel, but I've actually never spoken to them directly. I have a neighbor here who claims to have run into one in the wood, literally walked into one of them in the woods in the nighttime when he was trying to walk home from, well, wherever he was visiting his friend. So there's a lot of, definitely for New Hampshire where I live, there's a lot of stories of the Sasquatch. We're very heavily wooded areas, and my understanding is that they do like to dwell in the woods and places like that are secluded. My understanding of them is that they really are full of fun. They like to play games. They love perplexing human beings by suddenly swapping dimensions, but bridging both dimensions at the same time so that they can leave a single footprint and leave the humans to figure out where the single footprint comes from. When I sat down here tonight to join in this thing, I could immediately feel a whole family of Sasquatch just gathered around me. So it's a beautiful feeling. It really is. They feel loving and gentle and like the kind of people you really want to meet. Like if you were to make friends, they feel like the kind of people you'd want to make friends with, really want to make friends with. Mm-hmm. It's a gorgeous feeling. It really is. That's the same with me with dragons though. The first time I met a dragon in a meditation, mm-hmm. I sat right in underneath its head against its chest. I leaned back into its chest. Mm. And the feeling of love that came from that was enormous. And I did not want to leave that meditation. I wanted to stay. I would have stayed there forever if I was allowed to. Yes. Yes. The Sasquatch have a fairly similar kind of feel, to be honest. They've got a really mm-hmm. beautiful feel. Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I'm feeling. And for those of you who are just joining, we're just doing an intro, and then we have some questions that we prepared for Sasquatch, and then if they want to answer any of your questions after that, we'll go ahead and see if that can be taken care of as well. So we can go right into it. We're both going to try and see what we can channel with these questions for you and for us with Sasquatch. And that's interesting that you said, Ursula, that you feel a group of them. I feel one, and then like a council of them, and maybe that's the group. I don't know whether you meant a group like a family, but they're definitely here with us. They're definitely happy about this transmission. So the first question we have is, well, the question I want to ask Sasquatch is, you asked that Ursula join me in this interaction with you. What connection do we have with the Sasquatch? So I'm immediately getting that we helped them in another lifetime. Not together, but I mean just individually, we helped them out in some way. And they're very grateful. And they are actually seeking out others, humans that are open and have integrated more and more of their light so that they are more accepting. But mainly they were saying that we had helped them out previously, and they have always kind of wanted to connect with us. Lovely. Are you getting anything, Ursula? Well, I'm slightly getting reminded of some work that I have been doing even in this lifetime. We were, for Mother Gaia, we were opening up portals. Mother Gaia was opening up the portals, but we were helping her to hold the energy so that she could fully expand her heart. But all the portals were coming from her heart center. And in that particular meditation work, whatever you want to call it. Sasquatch were one of the group that came through because they said it's time, they're ready now to meet humanity. Because humanity, of course, has been very treacherous to deal with, but the vibration of the planet had raised sufficiently, and the healing work that had been done on the planet had been sufficient, that Gaia was able to open up these portals from her heart. Because the way I understood it was they already existed on the planet, but not through the heart of Mother Gaia, but kind of in a surface kind of way. It was more, they were there in these dimensions around Gaia as opposed to from the center of her heart, which is very different. So that's what's been kind of coming through to my mind right now.
Yeah, I feel Gaia, she immediately stepped forward. She has a really heart-centered interest in Sasquatch. And Sasquatch has helped Mother Gaia. He's calling her Mother Gaia, and the earth itself. Very connected, very connected. Yeah. Okay, so what is your, and we're asking Sasquatch, what is your preferred name? Is Sasquatch an acceptable title, or would you prefer something else? They said, okay, the first thing I'm getting is they prefer Sasquatch over Bigfoot. And they even are okay if you call them Daryl. Commercial. This thing Sasquatch is fine. Usually, humans are, of course, need a title, and so Sasquatch is fine. As long as whatever the name or title that we're calling them, that the heart, the intention behind the name that we're calling is pure and kind. They're much into kindness and kindness. So that's what I'm getting. They don't have a preferred name. They have a preferred not name, which is Bigfoot. But other than that, Sasquatch is fine. I think you're frozen a little bit. Oh, no, you're not. Okay.
The energy around my ears I feel like almost a wall coming in like right now. So I'm actually literally trying to process the energy.
They kind of like that commercial with Daryl. It was funny. They're like, Bigfoot, no, my name is Daryl.
I don't know that one, actually. I'm slightly overwhelmed with the energy.
Did you get anything other than as far as their name? If not, we'll go ahead with the next question.
They just laughed. They just kind of laughed and kind of like, yes, we're here. No, they're really, yeah. I got the same kind of feel. Like it's like I started to get a name forming in my head, and it got lost. It got lost. It started with a CH.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was a kind of like, it doesn't. That's not important. That's not important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next question is: have you always hid from humanity, or is it that a later development that arose from humanity's descent into violence and chaos?
What's coming, I'm getting a picture here of kind of native tribes and tribal leaders. That there was a strong interaction, but it was very carefully chosen individuals that they worked with. It wasn't like whole communities. It was very much particular leaders.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of developed world they keep well clear of. It's not kind to humanity. It's not kind to the planets. It's not kind to the different kingdoms that live on the earth. And their existence as a people is one of great peace and compassion and gentleness is a very important part of their existence. And if they interacted with humans in their ignorance, and they're being kind, they're using the word ignorance as in unknowing, they do not know what they're doing. They wouldn't have got hurt. This is the thing. They're far more powerful than the human who is lost, who has separated themselves from Gaia and from their creator. They're far more powerful. So it's not that they would have got hurt, but that the people themselves would not have understood, and they would have tried to destroy the existence that they have, that they have for themselves. So instead of giving them the temptation, they moved it out of sight. It's not that humans could create the havoc that they're capable of on many kingdom levels, but it's just like, don't even give them the temptation to start with. That's how I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I'm getting, no, they have not always hid from humanity. As a matter of fact, Earth, the planet Earth, most everyone or every being here, it was supposed to be a place where different beings from like the Pleiadians, different beings, Sasquatch one, were to experience a physical, the physical realities. And so there were many, many beings here, many different beings here, but many have had to go into hiding. We are one that had to go into hiding because of a misunderstanding. There are others that have gone in hiding that are now, because of the light that is coming through the Christ consciousness, rising on the planet, is looking forward to being more visible to more people. But that will take some time. We are communicating with those that are ready and willing, and we have much to share with each other. I think that there is first to occur a acceptance and a kindness and a love within yourselves, which will then spread out to others. Differences when it comes to appearances, when it comes to Well, he's just saying that humans have to overcome a lot of biases as far as judgmental with each other, ageism, sexism, all of the isms that will need to be transformed. They are a peaceful bunch, and they are always trying to help us through Gaia. They have rescued many humans. They have no malice toward us, but want to live in harmony with us, along with the other beings that will soon want to be visible. He's saying some of our fairy tales are true, as far as the beings are concerned, and they are in hiding. So that's interesting. Okay. All right, so in the number 4, what is it like being an interdimensional traveler? Is interdimensional travel achieved by raising and lowering vibration, or simply by intention? It's a good question. So I'm getting that it's sort of like physics. I don't know anything about that too much myself, but they can, and he's saying that we can too, will more and more of the masses, as they awaken and begin to evolve, will realize that they can shift timelines by choosing and locking in to what it is that they want or that they prefer. They're saying there's a lot of physics to it that they probably need to do another video on it. But it is part intention. It's definitely intention, and part physics. It's not anything that humans can do it too. As they ascend, we will be able to move in and out of dimensions. Particularly, this earth plane is a very dense dimension, and we can move out of it at will. So they're just saying yes on that one. I don't want to go into too much detail.
Yeah, they gave me just one phrase: purity of heart.
Yeah, most of it is really, really simple. It's just that we've gotten away from and complicated a whole lot of things. And slowing down and just going back to the basics of what love is, and purity of heart and kindness is going to speed things up for us. He just says it's going to speed things up. Okay. Unless it's a low. Hi. Okay. Do you foresee humanity reaching a point in the near future where we can travel between dimensions at will, physically rather than through astral travel? And that's kind of answered the other one. I don't know whether you get anything else, but they're saying yes. I'm just getting a yes. Maybe not.
Only
Maybe not the near future.
not.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting not in the near future,
Right.
and not every human being, and it's going to take a raising of the vibration of like humanity as a collective before it become like widespread.
Mhm.
Um, but some will be able to do this because as you raise your vibration and activate more and more of your light body, you will also effectively switch on the I'm going to use the word Merkaba, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. But there is like in the auric field, there is it's like a very complicated electrical circuitry,
Mhm.
and right now much of it is switched off. This is for the safety of really the rest of the universe. As the vibration is raised, some of these switches are going to be put back into the on positions, and that will activate effectively the mechanism that's built into the auric field, which allows for interdimensional travel by location and other means of moving from one place to another across dimensions. At this point in time, those who are concentrating on their awakening process, who are meditating regularly, can cross dimensions easily through the kind of astral projection methods, but not through the physical body. But as frequencies continue to rise and more of the circuitry gets switched back on, it will not just be through meditation and astral projection, but through the physical body itself, because the physical body itself will take on a completely different functionality. Some of the saints of old knew how to do this. In some cultures, it's more prevalent than others. So humans have been able to do this throughout this period of deep darkness, but it has only been the very few who have dedicated their life to their connection with the divine, and who have devoted themselves to holding space for all of humanity through their prayers and intercessions. It will become more and more available as more of the people who are not monks or nuns, but as more and more of the ordinary everyday folk are reconnecting with the essence of who they are, they will also reconnect, this is the switching on, to the abilities of the I am presence, which is not held in only the third dimension, but which traverses the dimensions freely, the different dimensions freely. So it will happen, but it's not going to be like a mass switch on for the humanity. That will take time. It will take a lot of time. But bit by bit, more and more people will activate that part of their field. That's how I got it.
Yep, I'm getting, you know, we all can do this, but not everybody is going to choose it.
Right.
So the next question is, what is family life like among you? I'm getting pretty much like human. Um, they're very, very family and community oriented, like we used to be, like we are returning. A lot of attention to the young ones going, you know, growing up, coming up, training. Developing their abilities is a responsibility first for the immediate or closest members, and then spread out to the community and also the elders. Everyone gets involved in the development of the younger ones. That's what I'm getting for family life.
I'm actually being shown pictures from it's actually Uganda that's coming to mind for me. I worked in Zimbabwe and Uganda, but it's Uganda that's coming to mind with me. And children, this is what they're trying to show me. In Africa, children are very precious commodities. They're not turned away the way they tend to get turned away in the Western world, like their voices are unimportant, or they irritate the adults because the adult's so busy, he needs to do something else and things like that. The children are not treated like that in Africa. They're very, very precious.
Mm-hmm.
And they're showing me, like, you always see the children, the small children, on their mother's back, wrapped in a shawl around their mother's back. And they're carried for 2 years. 2 years they're carried, not so the child is never away from the love of the mother. And if the mother cannot carry the child for one reason or another, she's really, like, she's got backbreaking work in the field or something like that, a sister or a brother will pick the child up and carry them on the backs. But somebody in the family will always have that child and they'll always carry it. And they're showing me that same sense of love, deep, deep love for their children, and that deep sense of holding and protecting and nurturing their children. And they're saying there's no such thing as threats and punishments, that they understand that if a child is to blossom, that love has to be the mechanism through which that they grow. Everything is love. And then the other thing that they showed me, again, back to the analogy they're bringing back to the villages in Africa, a child belongs to the whole village.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if for any reason this child needs support beyond what the family can offer, the whole community is there
Mm-hmm.
to step forward and put their, their hands to the rein, so to speak, and take over and help the child as well.
Right.
And like it's a community effort.
Right.
To teach, as well as to support and love the child. I'm also seeing that same the sense, which we tend to see very often among humans, to be truthful, where the adults are kind of equally loving to all, not only of the children, but all the adults as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the humans have this tendency to say, I will look after you because you're my family, or I will love you because you're my husband or wife, but I will not love you because you're my neighbor or whoever you happen to be, that you somehow get exempt from love. That doesn't belong in their community. Everybody is loved deeply. And yes, they do have families, like nuclear type of families.
Mm-hmm.
And but nevertheless, the whole community in some sense is also part of that nuclear family, because even in their closeness with their children and their partners, it still extends outwards to
Mm-hmm.
every other nuclear family, so to speak, and it makes one whole community.
Absolutely.
And not pieces. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's sort of like, you're not quite sure where you begin and where the other one ends. It's a melding of the entire communities. And that's beautiful. The next question is, and Ursula had this question. I have a neighbor who thinks he walked into a Sasquatch while crossing a forest on his walk home at night. Is that likely to happen?
Oh, wow. I'm getting a really interesting picture here. They're saying you can't just walk into us, because we literally will get out of your way. We can be out of your way even as you're seemingly making impact, we will be out of your way. But this particular man, they actually wanted to make connection with.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally allowed him to walk into them to give him a kind of awakening, to remind him that they existed and were not just part of folklore. This particular man, he's kind of a very interesting man. He has a galactic he's got a galactic connection. He's awake and yet not awake. He kind of bridges both worlds. He is aware of there being so much more than meets the eye, and yet at the same time he is held by science and what can be picked up by the 5 physical senses. And this was more, it was more deliberate allowance, because they wanted him just to kind of shake out of that sense of it's all got to be what I can feel, or whatever. It's got to be more. There's more than that. So they were kind of like just reminding him. They were just literally reminding him of who he is as well. Oh, he seems to have a connection with them.
Mm.
Huh. I can't see the connection, but he has a connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. Yeah. That's so interesting.
It is. And I'm getting that they will use that same kind of, first contact with many of us, just to gauge, whether you're ready, or just to get us used to their visibility. They're not just going to just show up in mass. So these little first contacts are similar to what the galactics use with UFOs for years, where people have first contacts. So yeah, it's likely to happen. It's likely to happen, but like you said, they're picking and choosing, for that to happen. They have no. They do not want to harm or scare us. So they're kind of sensing who may be ready to at least get a glimpse of them. Okay, Sasquatch has a reputation for living in forests and on top of snowy mountains. Is that correct, or do you have other preferred locations? Would they prefer to be as close to Gaia as possible right now, and where they can help Gaia? That is a preferred location, but they can be in any location. It's just less visible right now. They're just as comfortable, if you would, or could be comfortable in the city amongst us, but again, they don't want to disrupt us in any way right now, especially right now. But they can as easily appear and disappear between dimensions. Right now, it's easier in the remotes, and they prefer to be or have the feeling of being close to Gaia in nature. Anything that has to do with nature, that's their preferred location at this time. They're showing me that they also have shown up in parks too, but not where there's any reported sightings, but they hang out in parks.
I'm getting the same kind of thing, that they prefer nature. The more natural, the better. So in some senses, they're everywhere all the time. In some senses. But for where you're likely to spot them, if you do spot them, is going to be in areas that are really away from the masses of humanity.
Mhm.
Where they choose to be spotted. It's like you won't spot them unless they want you to spot them.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, you said, and you had a question, Ursula, said, I was visiting a mountain through astral journeying that was said to be haunted. We found an intergalactic terminal, like a train station. I saw a Sasquatch face very up and close to mine soon after arriving, and then many different galactic beings. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name of the location, which is probably just as well since the haunting was a special effects to keep nosy humans at bay. I wonder if there are many such portals on the planet. Thinking that there are portals, there are vortexes on the planet like that. Some that will be opening, some that's been there for, a long time. Some that will be opening up new. They're calling them vortexes. They're again saying they are, they don't have to scare us to keep us away. They have the ability to, pop in and pop out. It just may have been some souls that were still earthbound around the vortexes. But they definitely took advantage that you were there because they are always trying to, reach out a little bit at a time to you.
That's fun because every time I walk in the park now, my local park is like a forest. It's not really it's not a cultivated park. It's like a forest.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I'm walking in the forest, I kind of I keep looking. I keep looking for them because I keep expecting to see them. To be honest, I feel like they're close by. I really do.
They are.
And right.
Yeah, they are, and they feel safe with you. So just kind of testing the waters to make sure that you're feeling okay too about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know if they suddenly show up standing right beside you, it might be like, oh.
Right.
Although, to be honest, I did wake up one night and there was, it looked like a galactic being standing beside my bed. I could just see the outline in like white light shining. And I I thought if that happened, I might kind of get a bit nervous.
Right.
But in fact, I didn't. I just looked at this being and I said, oh, hello.
Right.
And then I went back to sleep.
Right.
Which is like, I think those kind of things are not half as scary as they could be,
Yeah, and then
Especially,
we know how to set boundaries to set boundaries with them.
Right.
That's kind of scary, especially when I wake up suddenly. I don't need for you to be right here. So we know how to set boundaries, and they're very respectful of our boundaries. They're very respectful of our boundaries. So, okay. So the next question is, what effect will the raising of Gaia's, and I'm calling her Gaia's too, because they're saying that frequency have on the Sasquatch, will they be able to live visibly upon the planet? I'm getting the word hopefully. We're really hopeful. They love planet. They love the earth. They love the trees, the vegetation, the animals. They love us humans too. They don't see what we're going through now with what we're calling the turmoil as they're seeing it as a good crazy, a good crazy because of what is going to come out of it. And they're excited because that means that they'll be able to more freely connect, communicate, and eventually be more visible to us, so that we can live more harmoniously. I see a lot of trading between them and us about different abilities, technology, what you mentioned as far as, interdimensional travel, those type of things are known to us, are available to us, but they can help us to navigate a lot of things that we have forgotten that's available to us. But they're just so connected to the earth. They love this planet. And they are helping Gaia as much as possible to influence and help to influence us to help as well environmentally.
Mm-hmm.
The other question that you had about the family, they are somehow connecting or communicating with the dolphins. The dolphin young, they stay with their mother. I believe I had read or something about like 8 years because it takes that long for them to develop the language of the dolphins. But dolphins came up. The Sasquatch is very, very connected to elementals because they're so connected to the earth and Gaia. So the dolphins came up too. But yeah, as Gaia's frequency is raised, as more light comes into the planet, that's going to benefit the Sasquatch and all of us, and definitely help them as far as being more visible. Did you get anything else? Anything about that?
Nothing extra, no.
Okay. And then the last question is there anything that we, the human race, can do to bless the people of Sasquatch?
Korakatina kuhirana tisa sarakoto. Nia karahina aka ikina arakoko yini. Sorry about this. I could mihetar kita mahina karkatina. Sonoro pati mi amara kata yini ina akari ini auto ye sar kina ano yini ini boro koto. Sa era atara uchimo otori kitimi atayina amura katisa kata. Maare achina ayin aya toko ye sina aruko ye atar kitina amori ngana. Sine era ato koto toto minya mahataraki mora tatayimaha. Sani awari akura po tina akura enya mahariti. Sokoro oye anaye na ataye ma awoye na asakaro koye meha. Samtia kara tokoro ina hati na hasaka koye hana hata. Ora nata kitana utara. Sano ora inahati. Ora me akarko. Santori kitina mota. Moi dara bainaham. Soko mahari kitini hin hotari kitara ena anayara koto. Makara esina ato. Makaye. Toroko.
Beautiful. Do you have a translation for the love language, for the light language?
Ihino me tira koto mai. What's Marahi? Karamo uta is my kin my I said what a korti. I'm so sorry. It's my family. Koro kotiniaki na ni blessed the kina entire Sasquatch peoples of the earth. The kina atukuro kotini sana katina ara ati apukura ane kina atarahi. Sending greetings. Amo ara ina ato ohia na atari mi atari. Sending divine blessings. Kurba ana ya ana isa kerakoto mihiti orokotimi e aha tina aha. Looking forward to a new understanding. Isini araka an open communication na arati arukotome eta an ayena atokomi hatara ema atayena okosina amaha. And creating diplomatic relationships ta ani na anokota sina arako, so that all kina atari the communications lines might be cleared in nia okora sina arakota me anina amoka ati na so mahrini emaha for ongoing connection morikitina amo yahata better connection with the human population muka asin orame ema ne na kara altosina ha muka ane mahati.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to leave that there, because there's a saying let's just leave this right there. They want us to, though, is to just work on kindness and loving ourselves. If we do that, then we will love our immediate families. If we love our immediate families, that will spread out to our communities, to our states, to our countries, to the world, and that will bless them. When we embrace the differences, we will be in a better light to receive them. They are us. Beautiful. Well, it's a little over an hour. They're saying maybe with a different video, if people want to hear more, maybe we can do a part 2 with the question and answer, a Q&A with attendees. But for right now, do you have any closing remarks, Ursula? Or I will put our information, contact information, in the description below, so that if people want to contact you or they know how to do that. But it's just they have such a beautiful, loving, and kind-hearted energies. They want us to embrace our differences And with the Christ consciousness, with the unity consciousness, they want us to understand and practice okay, so they understand it, that duality is part of this dimension, the third dimension, but we can transcend that. We can transcend that. Thank you, Sasquatch. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else?
My heart is full. I feel privileged and honored to be allowed to share in this meeting. I thank you, Gloria. I thank all the people who've actually joined us today as well. I thank the Sasquatch with my whole heart. I look forward to making a much stronger connection in the future. Their love is, yeah, it's a whole different realm than what we are used to as human beings. It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be our great privilege, when we, each of us, open up sufficiently to make that connection with them. It is an honor and a deep blessing to have them with us today, and to have had them reach out to make connection with all of us here. I am beyond grateful, and my heart is full to overflowing. It really is. So kumayati uti asara mahini kumayita muyita. So okay, so.
So I know some of you have had some questions. Maybe we'll see if we can do a part 2 with Sasquatch with Ursula. We'll see what we can do to answer your questions. If you want, just put your comments in there. If you want to have another, a Q&A just for your questions, we can do that maybe sometime in the near future. So I want to thank all of you for joining in with us, and those that is going to watch it later. Wish you much joy and peace, love and light, and thank you again. Take care.
Thank you.